Welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. We've got not one, but two very special guests with us here today. Beau Bells, Skye O'Shaw, Fight or Flight? Or Fight and Flight, sorry. Fight and Flight, sorry. Because fight or Flight is the actual saying, and Fight and Flight is you guys.
I think you can choose, but you know, it is and.
Make your choice.
And sounds better though, isn't it? 'Cause, like, I think and makes it sound more aggressive. You're not choosing between.
We're doing both.
Yeah.
We are both, so it is both.
Yeah, there's two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is one of you's Fight and one of you's Flight, right?
Yeah, so
Technically,
I am the fight and Lou is the flight. I think in terms
Who's
of
Lou?
what Lou,
Yeah.
sorry.
Kayfabe, what is happening?
Does it matter?
It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter to you.
No.
It doesn't. No, I was just doing a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually getting offended. I was like, oh my god.
No. Oh my god.
I was like, friend, please.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's not the first time we've had it on the podcast. We've had a few people like sort of out real names and then realise afterwards and be like, ah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll say it again. So I'm the fight and they are the flight, and that kind of came about from us discussing how we deal with our anxiety and how our anxiety presents. And obviously everyone, like a lot of people know, the fight or flight response is, you know, how people deal with anxiety and how it presents. Mine's always been very aggressive. So I think a lot of people who are anxious in, you know, more of a chatty extroverted way, I don't present as typical anxious, which you think is like internal, the flight, you know, kind of response or freezing or whatever. Whereas mine's always been quite aggressive and quite like fighty. So I am the fight. And then...
Yeah. And for me, it's the other way around. Most of the everyone has bits of both, but obviously on mine, it very much more. I retreat inside myself and I kind of disappear, or at least try to a bit more.
Run away.
Yeah, and then in the ring, I jump at people, so it works in that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Double meaning.
I punch people and hit people, so I think it reflects not just our personality but our styles of wrestling as well. Because Skye's the boingy one that jumps about, and I'm like I'm just gonna hit someone.
No, I like that because like even before you say that, like the in-ring style is what I first think of when I think of like you guys and that name. Because I'm like, oh, it's just the wrestling personality. But like you're totally right about the anxiety stuff as well. Because I think I'm like a mix of both. I think sometimes I'll be like really introverted, and then other times I just won't be able to stop talking, and I'll be in my mind. I'll be like, why can't I stop talking? What is happening?
Yeah.
So relatable. Like honestly,
we both have that.
Yeah, we both. Yeah. We will do a stream of consciousness at any
given time.
And the other one has to be like, calm down.
Yeah, I think it's like for us, like our mental health journeys are like important to us and the people that we are. And I think it's also nice to kind of have that story in wrestling and also have something that other people can relate to as well. Because we've had people come up to us and say, you know, we really respect and love what you're doing because, you know, I'm also anxious or, you know, I feel this way. So it's nice that it has that kind of connection with people and how they feel and like give space to like, it's okay to be anxious and it's okay to, you know, struggle and like, you know, we can support each other through it because we're the best tag team ever.
Yeah. We hope. Like, we try.
Get in there. We'll be one day top of the pyramid for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
We're aiming high.
Yeah, we're working on it. Like, we're only like a year into team. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think so. Like
when did we first team actually?
Last year. God, is it last year?
I wouldn't expect anyone to remember, to be honest, because like since COVID, like time is just a blur. Do you know what I mean?
Time does not exist anymore.
Time doesn't exist.
It's not real.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened last year, this year. Like I'm like, what is that? Just time is.
Literally. It was either end of last year or beginning of this year, whenever time allows us to think when it is. I don't know.
I'll have a think about that.
Yeah, but it was.
Did it come back?
I know it was at Pro Wrestling East who have been incredible to us. And
So
us as singles performers and as a tag team. Because when we first wrestled there, we were filling in for people. You know, it's always, we were very much newbies back in last February when we started.
Yeah, again, they were our first professional match.
Yeah, first like debut proper match. You know, we'd had like training matches and stuff before the pandemic, but yeah, that was our like first proper match. I wrestled Rhea O'Reilly, and you wrestled.
I was in a tag team with Nightshade against the Diadem, which we went on to have kind of a history with.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, we had a review the show, and like I remember reading about that.
Yeah. People thought, because they said Nightshade and Skye, they thought it was the Uprising and I was going to be Skye Smithson. Unfortunately, it was me, and then she turned on me, so it was a really good day for me. But
that works though, wasn't it? She's like, you're not the right Skye. What are you?
Who are you?
So that's probably why she turned on me. To be fair, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, she was expecting the other Skye.
Yeah, so we both lost.
Yeah.
And then I think the next match I wrestled Nightshade. I mean, that was my second match at East.
You did,
and then you came out with me.
Yeah.
And then who did you wrestle on that?
I was in a fatal four-way. It was it was MK the main attraction. It was at the time Ollie Peace, now Ollie War. And Levi Muir, who murdered me.
Levi Muir murders everyone. I mean, that's like no one wants to get in the ring with Levi Muir.
That man's like carved from concrete, just like a slab of man.
I just remember doing like a big shine thing and like kind of getting everyone down, being really excited, and then turning around and just getting one hit, and I just completely crumbled, and it was that was.
So I think did I come out with you in that match?
I think you were a bit. No, you did come out. No, did you? I think you did. I think you went and sat in the audience.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I came out and I wore your jacket, and then I sat in the audience and cheered you on.
The moral support.
You kind of helped me out when I got murdered.
I
took
did.
A big stalling suplex from Levi, and that was me done. I was not getting back in the ring. There was no point trying to win.
No, don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Yeah, so I think we started by like accompanying each other to the ring, and then I think we got in the ring together and we hugged, and then we got a friendship chant.
Yes.
And that was like, okay, this is something. And then obviously the guys at East were like, hang on a minute, this makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
So, being friends, being training partners, being adorable, plucky underdogs. Just like it started to kind of make sense. And then, I think our first tag was with Camille Hansen and Tarquin. And the story was kind of us versus the Diadem, wasn't it? Because you'd had run-ins with them, I'd had run-ins with them.
They were making our life a misery. We've not won anything.
And that was the first tag, and it worked. It was like, oh damn, this makes sense.
Yeah, it was nice as well to so early to be trusted with kind of a storyline.
Yeah,
like really kind of like
100%.
I was gonna say that's the thing, isn't it? Like, because so many people have to like, take a while essentially to work their way in, But for you guys, from what you're saying, like sort of coming in as replacements and making enough of an impact for them to be like, okay, these guys are going to be regulars here. Like,
that's been wild. Yeah, it's been, like you kind of think in your first year of wrestling, you're like, I have done a lot of replacements, which I'm happy about. I get it. We will come and replace anyone. But you kind of go in where you can, and you kind of take what bookings you can get, and kind of start to set your foot in somewhere. So we're really fortunate that East were willing to take their chance with us and really give us that space to really have a story. And I think that's helped us with the fans taking us on at East as well, because they've invested in us. They've been on this journey with us. So it's really nice to have that space to be able to do that. I know not everyone can, there's lots of spots on the card, some people have stories, some people don't. It's absolutely fine. But I feel really very lucky and very fortunate to kind of get that as well. And, they've treated us really, really well. We love Ian and Tom East.
They are like the nicest humans. They're always down for a laugh. The whole atmosphere, like I feel like this is one thing everyone says about East, but like the atmosphere both like at the ring, but also behind the curtain is like
really lovely.
One of the nicest kind of like I don't want to say like family, because there's so many people who are just like, oh, we're such a family, and that's usually actually quite a red flag, but it is literally like a.
I think it's there's a really really good really friendly vibe there, which is just anytime someone comes in as well, they're like, oh my god, it's so nice here. Not that there isn't a lot of, you know, I'm not saying like there's a bunch of rubbish promotions about. I'm not saying that at all. No, that was just me saying it. I was like, I don't want to be shady, but no, it's been, like I say, I think especially getting into wrestling, it's been really nice. And they're very, very good locker room, very good fans, very, very good people. But yeah, I think having that chance to develop stories and think about tag wrestling and the story that we're telling has really helped. Like, our matches come along really quickly, rather than like, you know, if we've hadn't been given that story, we'd have just fixed it in where we can, which is fine. You obviously get the experience, but I think that's made us approach tag wrestling like in a different way, maybe than I don't know. We're hindsight, obviously, but I think it has helped us.
No, for sure. If you go back and like watch our debuts at East, and then watch we had a match that was like incredible with Rob Drake and Nova Knox, which we had so much fun. And as we were just looking at the progress of kind of how far we've come since the first show.
Yeah, and, only in like we've only had like 3 or 4 matches as a tag.
Yeah, we've only like we've done a couple of like rumbles as a tag, and we've like been at ringside for each other in lots of different. We've teased Fight and Flight in a majority of promotions, but like in terms of actually being a tag team and doing a tag match, we've only had like less than 5, haven't we?
I think it's 3, which is wild considering we've got merch. Such huge fan support.
Well, that's why, guy. You need to get like anyone watching this who's a promoter. You need to book Fight and Flight because they've got the merch. The merch needs to be sold somewhere.
Exactly.
That's so true. Capitalism.
No, it's we want to work wherever we can. Like, you know, I think there's so many opportunities in kind of British wrestling at the moment, and there are some incredible tag teams across British wrestling that we'd love to wrestle. So
true.
It's just, I know that I saw I can't remember who posted it, but I saw a post from a promotion recently saying like, we're not booking you because it's you, we're just so busy.
Yes,
you know,
I
can't remember who it was.
It's so true.
But it was so helpful, because I think a lot of the time you're like, why specifically am I not getting booked? It must be because I'm horrible. You know, you kind of, you don't think about the kind of wider context of why people are booking people that they are. You know, they've got storylines, they've got plans, you know, and it's, you know, hard not to, you kind of compare yourself and take things personally, but it was nice to have that perspective of like, actually, it's not you, and it's not me. You know, it's the kind of what you're doing at the time. And like I said, with East, we just got really lucky that we kind of slotted in where we did and where we have with them. But
they've been, obviously we've just said so supportive of us. And we'd obviously love to branch out to other places, but I think we know deep down our time will come, and hopefully it's going to be soon.
Hopefully. I think, you know, it's you know, you try and keep things in perspective. Like, we've only been wrestling in you know, kind of British wrestling for 1.5 years. So it's kind of it's hard to kind of keep with perspective on that, of like what we've actually done and what we've achieved is pretty cool. You know what I mean, in the short time we've been doing it. So it is hard sometimes to be like, oh well, I haven't done this and this, and it's like, yeah, but you have done this and this, you know. So it's like that positive PMA, positive mental attitude, which we're both rubbish at sometimes.
Same, guilty as well. Totally understand.
PMA, like, we both will have moments where we'll go to each other and be like,
oh my god,
I'm bad at this, I can't do this anymore, what is up? Like, and then the other one will just be like, okay, here are like all of the facts of why you're actually a fine wrestler and person. And
usually
like
aggressively positive to the other one. You know, I'll sit, like you say, I'll sit there and be like, I'm terrible, and then you're like, no, you're not. You're incredible. You're amazing. Stop doing this, and we do it for each other.
But there we go. You need that, right? You need the other person there sometimes to like give you that like reminder.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, for sure. No, I love that. It's very wholesome, this chat so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's like, it seems like this, like, this friendship you have is like just mega wholesome and cute.
That's us. I know my partner has watched us wrestle all of our matches, I think. And he said to me, he was like, "You two are like Saturday morning kids TV presenters."
Yes, I love that comment. Like, we try
because I mean, when you first start creating your character and, you know, you put it down on kind of paper and you start thinking about what is this character going to look like? What is Beau going to look like? And I think, you know, when I first started wrestling, I was going to be like, oh, well, I'm a punk, you know, she's edgy. And it's like, no, I'm a massive goober. I'm just like, just a big friendly baby. And I think, like, I didn't see that wholesome aspect coming out. But I think, like, us being together has brought that out of me, which is really good as a character. And I think that's really given it more depth that I didn't think I would have had at the beginning if we hadn't been in the tag, which is really cool. Yeah. So, yeah, always wholesome violence is the brand, I feel like.
That is very much, like, kind of both of our things. I think we like it as well because it's, like, fits into kind of a bit more of a niche set. Like, everyone is trying to be kind of an edgy anti-hero in wrestling a lot of the time. And we, like, not saying that we're doing anything unique, but, like, in the sense that, like, I don't know, there's something fun about kind of
being silly.
Being silly and wholesome, and still kind of, like, beating the hell out of people. Like, it's just, there's something really fun about that, and it resonates with a lot of people that I think otherwise, like, I don't know, that it resonates with a different group of people than I think a lot of wrestlers do. And
I think we're accessible. I think that's what it is. We're like, you know, we're not superheroes. We're not doing, you know, yes, we are wrestlers, but we are, I think, accessible in that, you know, we're, like, say, we're not playing these, like, I think this fantastical superhero character that I first thought Beau was going to be, and then I'm actually a lot more kind of, not down to earth, that's not the right kind of way of saying it, but I think it's a more relatable kind of way. And I think it, like, you put more of yourself, not everyone does, but I've put more of myself into the character than I originally thought I was going to. Like, there's a line between the characters of, like, I know what Beau would do and I know what I would do as a person, but, like, I think they're a lot more entwined than I thought they were going to be, in that, you know, there's more of me in Beau than I thought originally there might be. I think you're the same, right?
No, I'm the same. I mean, I was kind of in the reverse in that my character kind of came about because I wasn't doing a character in training and people thought I was, and then I was like, oh, that's my character. And then I kind of had to kind of pull Skye kind of out of that and do that. But it's very much a case of, like, something that I think everyone goes into wrestling thinking they're going to be some kind of wild, fantastical character, and it's nice to kind of be larger than life, but then also kind of be kind of honest about our life experience and kind of just kind of get to be ourselves while also doing this kind of larger than life thing. It's really fun, and it resonates with a lot of people. It, like, a lot of kids seem to really enjoy our wrestling.
Oh my god, kids love us.
I was gonna say, it's a lot of colour, it's a lot of fun. Like,
I was gonna say, like, it's colour, it's fun, it's joyful, it's exuberant, it's all this kind of fun stuff that kids connect with. And we work, obviously, Easter's family show as well, so, you know, that works there. And then I think, like, separately, I you know, when I've done a lot of family shows in the last year and a half, I think I'd say 99% of my shows that I've done have been family shows, so it's really nice to, you know, be accessible to families as well. I think it's having the freedom to change the character for what you need it as well, which we definitely have, because, you know, we do fight and flight, like, R-rated.
I don't even know what that would do.
I was gonna say that would look great. I think that'd be amazing, because, again, like, but like, Beau with yourself, like, again, like, Beau in my mind is, like, again, like, I see as, like, again, like, this sort of, like, gritty, punky, like, East End of London kind of character, right? And I feel like that sort of corruption of Skye would be quite enjoyable to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, make them this, like, sort of, like, bruiser from the East End.
I mean, that's what's happening in your real lives.
I wouldn't.
I'm a terrible influence on you.
No, you're not. You're a great influence on me.
Great, terrible. It's a fine line.
I think the line is very, very thin between those two things.
But yeah, no, I agree that, like, I think it's nice having, like, obviously talking about it now and kind of reflecting where we were and where I was at the beginning of last year compared to where I am and where I think I am now, and like I said, how much more depth the character has and how much different it is, because it is still, you know, for me, still punk as, you know, gritty East Londoner. That's part of like the core of Beau, and I think, you know, having these different aspects to a character as well is really nice, because it means you can tell different stories depending on where you go and what you need to do, and the person that you're wrestling and the story that you're telling at the time. So it's nice to be able to have those little shifts in character to be able to tell those different stories, which is what I love. I really enjoy that.
I was going to say, it seems like you guys have like, not just in the ring, like in terms of when you've been training together as well for all that time, it seems like you've like both improved each other, not just as a tag team, but as singles performers as well.
I'd really like to think that like this one's really brought me out of my shell like a lot. Like it's like there's, I don't know, there's some kind of like, if you watch me in a singles match and watch me in a fight and flight match, you can kind of see the confidence kind of leap out of me when I'm working with Beau. Like it's, and I feel like that's kind of energy.
No, it's cute. I like it.
And like that energy kind of, I feel like, is translating to like kind of a lot of the stuff I've done outside of the tag team as well. Like I feel like I feel like having such a close cheerleader, I think, is just like really good. Like as we were talking about before, like we kind of help each other when our confidence gets down, and we're always kind of thinking of new ideas, always sending each other stuff and be like, "Oh, we should do that.
We do that.
Do we do half of it? Probably not.
No,
but, like, we think about it a lot. We
talk about it a lot.
Like,
yeah. I think for me, like having the tag, it's definitely made Beau, like I said, have more depth to the character and like be okay being vulnerable as well. And I think that's what Skye brings out of Beau as well. And I think that's, you know, like they build each other up in different ways, because I think with Beau, you know, I can be almost like too cut off if there's like, you know, that point of like, you know, hardness to people. And I think that's that softness and vulnerability that is in Beau now that I don't think there was when I first started, and the confidence to be okay with that as well. And I think that's, again, reflecting on like our personal lives and how they've kind of fit into the characters as well. But I think that's how they've like, they really complement each other. Like Beau and Skye, the characters complement each other really, really well. So yeah, it's really nice to have that like space with someone else as well that you're kind of always bouncing ideas off, you know, like they always having a cheerleader. It's nice. Tag teams.
Absolutely. Like on my side as well, it's like I definitely, the character of Skye is definitely learning to stand up for themselves more and actually kind of take things into their own hands a bit more through the relationship with Beau. Like it's so that kind of dynamic's kind of really been really fun to kind of play around with.
Definitely.
It's fun to see all the different angles,
and I think it shows in the matches. Like if you like, I mean, I haven't watched them back recently, but you know, I think that probably that story is told even if you watch 3 matches, or like from the beginning of me and Skye being in East to where we are now. I think you'd watch that and you'd watch us, you know, obviously we've had practice because we've been wrestling for a while now, but you know, I think that confidence with each other as well just keeps getting, so hopefully it'll just keep getting more and more and better. So
for sure. Like I was gonna say, we talked about like almost like, you know, as well, like teams you guys want to face. I mean, we love a bit of fantasy booking here. Let's call out some people who do you guys want to take on? Sorry, what?
MK Ultra.
You're starting well big.
I'm starting well big. I don't care.
God.
Said fantasy booking. So Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly.
That would be a matchup. I tell you what. I mean, Impact coming over, right? Like not. Is it next month by the time it's got? No, this month. Still next month.
Just drop that out. No.
Still next month. Impact. If you want to book Fight and Flight.
Oh no.
I mean, that would be bizarre if it did. But
they're need an ambulance. But
I think the story that they're telling and the queerness of it makes my heart happy. And I think, you know, representation is so important. And I think just putting it out there as a story and not like, you know, it's not like, ooh, well, look at this is what's happening. It's just like a really good story between the two that they've put together. And now they become this like incredible tag team. So I think like Impact women's division and the Knockouts are amazing anyway. But yeah, I think MK Ultra is definitely up there for me, like 100%.
But again, like you say, almost like I really like it when almost like what would happen with you guys as well, where like you have a tag team that's formed out of a storyline, and it's not just
100%.
like two people being thrown together. It's like a story of how they've built this friendship and tag team.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm in. I'm on the ride. Like, I'm there. So yeah, I love them at the moment. Do you want to say one, and then we go back and forth?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're going like proper fantasy, like that level fantasy, I would have to say Bussy, obviously.
Oh my god, yes!
Like Effie and Ali catch.
But again, like I feel like that's less level of fantasy because they're over here like quite a lot now. Like
that's so true. That is really true. Actually.
I feel like we're having a manifestation session right now because we're putting all these out into the world, being like, yes, let's manifest.
Mate, TNT or Progress, right? They always have them over. Like they're gonna be over.
Yeah. Well, we're there. We've been there vibing on crew. Like you never know. Like one day.
One day, putting it out there, positive thinking. Who else?
What about like closer to home? What about BritWres wise? Who are the teams you look at and you're like?
So many BritWres.
Sunshine Machine, obviously, like top of the list. Greedy Souls. They are. I like people who murder people, and they look like they would.
I was gonna say Greedy Souls, MK Ultra. You're like, I'm getting a vibe here of like just death, really, just like.
That's
like,
me. I'm like.
Beau's a lot braver than me, but actually, I say that one of my dream matches, singles wise, Max the Impaler. So I think we both just are ready to be murdered.
Yeah.
An opportunity. I think we know our place.
Like... Yeah, I'm like, just step on me, beat me, kill me. Don't know if I'm too much, but
I was gonna say we're getting a very different vibe now. It's like all.
No, I like really aggressive kind of styles of wrestling, and I think there's a part of Beau that thinks she could beat anyone, that thinks she could fight anyone. She is the ultimate scrappy do in that she would literally, you put someone 6'5" in front of her, she's gonna try and like fight them. So I think that's why my, the other thing is they're all amazing tag teams as well.
Yeah.
Like
learn so much from like
exactly
so many. Like,
yeah, definitely. So yeah, Sunshine Machine, Greedy Souls, any iteration of the Uprising. So Rhea, O'Reilly, Skye Smithson, Livy Grace.
It's got to have Skye though. It's got to have Skye because then you get Skye versus Skye.
I know
we have wanted Skye versus Skye for so long. No, I would kill for that.
100%.
I'd love to be in the ring with Livy Grace, especially. Like, that would be awesome.
I've managed to wrestle. Wait, have I wrestled Skye? Yeah, I've managed to wrestle 3 of them. I still need to get Livy.
I've technically had an interaction with Livy when I was dressed as a sock. That's a story that I don't want to get into right now.
Sorry, did this happen at a show?
Huh?
Did this happen at a show?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't recall that. I don't recall hearing about this.
We can talk about Fist Club.
Let's talk about Fist Club.
Oh, it's Fist Club. Oh, well, yeah, that leads perfectly into Wrestival as well, actually. Yeah, go on, tell me about this.
Oh my god, yeah, let's talk about Fist Club.
Were there any more tag teams that you want to wrestle?
Oh my god,
Act 2.
Act 2, yes.
Act 2, love Act 2.
There was another one. Now my brain has gone blank, because those were the main, the main ones, I think.
The Odyssey.
Odyssey.
I have a very, me and Artemis started training around the same time many years ago at Eve Academy. So we've wrestled a couple of times, but we haven't wrestled as a tag yet, so we'd love to wrestle them.
Nice.
There's so many amazing tag teams.
Speaking of UBW, Progressive Overload.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's so many teams.
They've just become Kapow Tag Champions as well, which is...
there's a ton of amazing tags across the country. Obviously, we've mentioned a few, but we'd love to wrestle anyone and everyone.
Yeah, dressed as socks apparently.
Yeah. I think being mixed gender tag team obviously plays a part of getting booked as well. It depends and that's fine. Some people book intergender tags, some people don't. Absolutely fine. That's why we've got a broad range of people that we like to wrestle of all different genders. We don't care about it. We're wrestle anyone, anywhere, anytime.
No. And that's how wrestling should be. Not that there's anything if promotions want to kind of put things in more of a single gender way, I guess that's fine. For me, that's a weird concept because I am an intergender wrestler purely by existence. But it's something that I think we're very kind of passionate about. Being kind of a queer intergender team of just
Exactly.
We're all wrestlers, and we all kind of just we will fight anyone, and it will be really fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we might die.
But that's okay.
Yeah. You're like, hopefully, yeah.
We might like get a bit too much.
Hopefully. We can always hope.
I'm not hoping for you. You'll be living your best life, so it's okay.
Well, no, that's good. That's good, because we hinted at Fist Club, but we're going to come back to that, because while we're on the subject of you guys tagging and PWE, we've got a fun feature here on the podcast called Dishing the Dirt. And you've said loads of lovely stuff about the guys at PWE, but now I want you to dish some dirt on who are not the bad people in PWE, but just, you know, who has certain quirks and traits that people might not know about. So I'm gonna pose some questions to you. I want you to let me know which member of the PWE locker room most associates with that thing.
Whoa!
Oh my god, amazing!
Oh no, I don't want to read people's.
So the first one is who's always running late to shows? Who's always getting there maybe like just before show starts? And they're like, where were you?
Do you know what? I have no idea. Wait, who was late last time?
This thing, there's always a few people who are, but it's like.
I can't even think.
But I feel like it's different people every time. Because
yeah,
like,
I don't think there is.
There's always some weird kind of curse thing with East, where there's always a travel issue.
I think East are in that area, aren't they, of the country where like trains can fuck up and like the motorways can be fucked. Like
no, you're right.
One time there was like a storm the day before or something. Like it was like
every time it's different. Once it was me. I will put my hands up. Once it was me, because we were driving from London. And someone was coming up from Brighton, and then they were late, and then we were late, so we were late. The first time I wrestled there, so I was wrestling Rhea O'Reilly, and they were like, you're on third. And then they were like, actually, we've moved it around, you're on second. And then about 10 minutes before the show started, they were like, oh, the first person's not here, so you're actually on first. And like, in my debut against Rhea O'Reilly, I was first on, I was like, pooping myself. I was very nervous.
Great though, but like, so, I know that you were like,
it was
stressed.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think there's no one person. There might be, if you ask the people there might be like, actually it's me. But maybe I'm always too stressed about it.
I was going to say, maybe if you can't think of an answer, maybe it is you.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, if you don't know the answer, it's you.
Yeah.
No, I'm always like middle ground. Usually I'm late for everything outside of wrestling, but when it comes to wrestling, I do actually turn up on time.
No, that's good. That's good. Love to hear that. The next one is, and again, these are all like, I think they're all quite nice. They're all very subjective, do you know what I mean? It's all very opinion based. But in your guys' mind, who has the worst music taste?
Oh my god.
Oh, whoa.
Will anyone put something on in the locker room and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like,
I don't really listen to music in the locker room.
No, I was gonna say,
to be honest. But
it's not you. Wait, who is it?
Who would?
No one puts music on.
No one put music on. This is really not dishing the dirt.
No, there's no dirt to be dished. Don't worry, there's some further down that there will be. But
know who we'd say have.
Do you know what? It's one of those things. You know when someone asks you a question about something and your brain goes completely blank?
Yeah.
I can't even think of a wrestler, let alone a wrestler.
Like, who do I wrestle with? What?
We say Chelsea Smile and Gigi Panic.
Oh, those.
How dare you say them? Emo rules. What are you on about?
They are. Oh no, I don't even think they're bad music taste, but they are annoying with it, and you can't be left alone in a room with Chelsea Smile.
No, I cannot.
So you never see them in the same place because they will fight, and for no other reason.
Love it. To be honest, I say dishing the dirt. A lot of these are quite nice. There's only a couple that are like dirt, I guess.
It's just like, it's random questions that I've literally, I think because I'm always so stressed about my match, I never look at anyone else when I come in, because planning a match, the act of planning a match and then waiting for your turn to go on is really stressful. It's terrifying.
I was going to say, sometimes it's better to maybe be late and be first on, because then you don't have time to think about it.
Get rid of that. But no, I was helping out at a show in Smithfield Market the other day. So Claire Hefford, who works at owns Play Fight with Tom, she was doing like this showwoman thing on the weekend. It was really cool. But Alex Windsor was wrestling on it, and as we were about to go out, she was like, "Oh God!" And I was like, "You nervous?" She was like, I'm always nervous. And she was like,
That's
you know,
fine.
I was speaking to her about it. So I was like, you know, does it ever go away? And she was like, no.
Yeah.
She was like, you know, people that still get that like kind of funny tummy feeling.
I think that's good though, isn't it? Like, I think it's like people say, isn't it? It's like when the anxiety goes, maybe that's when you know something's wrong. Like, you'd rather have it there.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's an element of like, you're nervous because you care.
Yeah.
You care, you want to go out and have a good match. So obviously you're worried about it. So yeah, I think I'm always just we're always too nervous and going over our match to notice anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one really plays music either.
That's weird. No, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Like in a car with any of them or something. Like
who was in my car?
Yeah.
I've got good music taste.
Do you? Go on. What you guys listen? What's the car journey music?
Oh my god! Usually some kind of grunge anthems.
Yeah, it's
anything from pre 2007. Like basically.
A lot of it is. Yeah, like not all of it, but like a lot of it. Like no, I'm trying to think what you have on. Because it's you and your partner's music.
Yeah,
like,
had a lot of Alexis on Fire recently.
Nice.
Nice. And that's been a car journey song.
Yeah.
There's another band that I've like only heard in your car, and I can't remember their name. But there was a lot of songs by them the last time. But I could not tell you anything about them except if it came on, I'd be like, oh, that's the
band car song.
That's the
That's the band. Amazing. Well, the next one's quite a nice one because it's who's the comedian of the locker room? Who can you always count on to make you laugh the most?
RJ Singh.
Yes. RJ Singh and Sunset Skip.
Yeah.
Nice.
RJ.
Now I don't want to age RJ here, but is it funny or is it like dad joke funny?
Both. Somehow
no,
both.
Maybe he's a dad, so.
Just like when they're in the room, just like the mood picks up.
Yeah, they're both
time.
very funny. But yeah, Uncle RJ, he's always joking.
Nice.
Always
I think when we had RJ on, he said Sunset Skip as well.
Oh,
so
really?
like,
Yeah.
so there you go.
Definitely.
They are together. They are a
Two-man
menace
act.
in the best way.
Yeah.
We love them.
100%.
Oh my god, can we add RJ Singh and Sunset Skip onto the? Can we add Strong Dads onto the list of?
Yeah.
Another one.
Like, yeah.
That
would be really cool. Actually.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The next one is again. This is. So this is shoot now. This is not kayfabe. This is not as your characters. This is again sort of walking into the locker room, walking out of the locker room. Again, it's all personal opinion. But in your mind, who has the worst dress sense?
Oh my god, who was wearing the fish flops?
That was that?
Someone was wearing the fish flops.
Why do I feel like that was Truman?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I can't remember who it was. Someone was wearing fish flops.
What are fish flops?
Tim Lee.
Yeah, it was.
It was Tim Lee.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
But I think Tim Lee usually slays though.
I don't know. But they were flip flops, but they were fish.
But like the bottom is shaped like a fish, or it goes over the top?
The whole thing was a fish.
Was a fish.
What, like a croc almost, but a fish?
But a fish, yeah. It was shaped like a rubber fish.
Yeah, it was like a rubber jelly shoe, but it was like
feet in.
But it was a fish shape.
So it's crocs that are shaped like fish.
No, genuinely, they look like rubber fish on someone's feet.
That's weird.
I know.
That's weird. Yeah, Tim, if that was you, if that was actually you, you deserve worse dress just for that.
Thrown him under the bus for no reason. But...
It was just the fish flops. That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, no.
I completely forgot about the fish flops.
I was gonna say, I feel like no matter how well dressed someone is, if they come in wearing that, that's like you automatically go down to the bottom of the pile. Do you know what I mean?
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim Lee, if it is you, but fish flops.
Sorry to who? Sorry to this man. Sorry to whoever owns
Tim, if it was you, please confirm.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, member of the PW.
Please confirm or call out who it actually was.
Yeah. The fish flop conspiracy begins.
Who was wearing the mystery of who was wearing the fish flop?
I just remember looking down and being like, what the hell are those?
Yeah.
What are those?
Literally, what are those?
I was probably wearing my Crocs.
You're a Croc advocate.
I am a Croc advocate.
Oh, no. Not the Crocs.
She has some of the snazziest Crocs I've ever seen. She doesn't just have... She has, like, a pair of just, like, plain black ones, but then she also has, like, a pair of, like, cheetah, like, leopard print ones that have fur in them. Like, you've got one... I feel like... Have you got one with, like, all the little gibbets, or is that something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Alexis Falcon put me on Crocs.
Oh, Alexis Falcon has been a bad influence on BritWres with the Croc love. It's been... It was last year, so I did ring announcing for Wrestling Resurgence when they had their International Women's Day show. And I was wearing Birkenstocks. And I still love my Birkenstocks, don't get me wrong. But I remember Alexis Falcon being like, "No, wear the Crocs," and I was like, "Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what was?"
No, I can hear it. She's gonna kill me. But...
What was that accent?
No, the way she says no, I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy. Sometimes I hear it in my head when I think of my Crocs. But she was like, "Try these on," and I put my foot in the Croc, and I was like, "Oh, hang on a minute." And then so I bought a pink pair because I love pink, and oh my god. Game changing.
They're so inconvenient. What if you wear them out and then it starts raining?
Well, yeah, obviously not rain. You can. Oh my god, you can get rainproof ones anyway. So.
But they've got holes in them. How can they be rainproof?
No, they have like linings in them, like little booty Croc things.
Oh,
they're so comfy. I wore them I went to Japan this year, and I wore them one day, and I walked 20,000 steps, and my feet were fine. Like, literally. They're so comfy. So I've got about, like, 5 pairs now.
I mean, I sort of respect that, but in another way, I think I'd rather have the pain than be seen in Crocs.
I feel like it's, like, Marmite kind of vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
very much.
I really hate them. And, like, at first, I was like, nah, they're ugly. And now I kind of love that they're ugly. Maybe it's, like, Tim Lee with the fish flops. But, like, I love the grotesqueness of them.
You know you're going to get the looks.
Yeah, no, so many people wear Crocs now. They're the new Vans, which makes me really happy.
This is weird, because I assume, like, and again, I'm not saying, like, oh, like, what address do you guys live at? But I assume you guys are, like, East London-ish, like, somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, big East London.
Because so am I, but, like, I never see people in Crocs.
Really?
Never.
A lot of younger people wearing the Crocs. Down with the kids over here, that's what it is.
You're just too cool, yeah.
Right, yeah, I do not wear Crocs.
Depends where in East London, maybe.
That is also a good point.
That's true. I'm like Canning Town. I can't imagine people.
We run the...
Yeah, I'm in Plaistow.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Buds.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm in Stratford, so like we're
hell yeah, right down the DLR.
Like, yeah, literally.
So like I used to live in Brighton, and I moved up here from Brighton, and like the DLR to Stratford is like the greatest thing ever because it's so convenient. I'm like, how do you get to Stratford so quickly?
Nice.
Love that.
I will stand by my Crocs. I love them. They're comfy. They're also good. I know when you're at a wrestling show, if you're getting in and out of the ring, they're really easy to get on and off.
I suppose the slip-on nature.
I literally will exclusively wear Crocs to wrestling shows now when I'm wrestling because it's easy to get in and out of the ring. Because usually I wear like either Vans or Converse or DMs or whatever. So many laces to get on and off.
Converse is the way to go. I've always been I've been like Converse for like since I was like 13. I don't think I've ever had another pair of like non-work shoes that are not Converse.
Really? I had to stop wearing them as much because flat feet, my feet were like hurting.
Oh, no, that's fair.
Fair. Well, no, that's fine. I mean, I respect your choice, but no, Alexis has in my mind, Alexis has corrupted BritWres too much with this croc talk.
It's okay not to respect it. But it's fine. I'm not gonna. I just like my partner was like, no, I don't want them, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let me just buy you some. And then I bought them and it's literally not taking them off the feet. He was like, they're really comfy. I was like,
I don't want to be corrupted now. I feel like I would be. I feel like I would be corrupted if I wore them. But I just can't bring myself to it.
All it takes is one wear and then suddenly...
You're hooked. Once you go croc, there's no something. Don't know what it is yet, but...
I don't have a good fun for that.
Don't know what the end would be, but there's something there. There's something there.
I mean, if they want to send me some free Crocs, that would be amazing.
Yeah, Crocs if you're watching. Free advertising.
If you're watching, I'll have one blue pair and one pink pair so it goes with my hair.
Yes, one of each.
You would kill that.
That would look good, to be fair.
Yeah.
That would look good. Well, the next one's on the opposite end is actually, we're not talking about worst dress anymore. We're talking back in the ring. And I'm going to say, because you're a tag team, you can't pick each other. So... In a hypothetical world, well, not hypothetical in this sense, because people always forget their gear, but you've forgotten your gear for a show, and it's a hypothetical one-size-fits-all kind of world. Whose gear in the PWE locker room would you take? Whose gear do you look at and you're like, I could pull that off?
I would have nightshades.
Nice.
I love the fire. I love the flames. I think it would work for Beau. It's a really flattering shape. She looks incredible all the time anyway. But yeah, I would go for that, I think. And also a singlet. I like a singlet, not a two-piece.
Nightshade's gear is so cool.
Yeah, it's really. I like the flames. I like the flame sparkly vibe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you both went for it, it'd be a good, like, then you get like good tag costume, like two guys.
You see, I was gonna go for Peter Nixon because I feel like people wouldn't notice my gear. Like, I stopped wearing suspenders at PWE out of respect to Peter Nixon because that was his thing. So yeah, I feel like people wouldn't. I feel like it wouldn't look much different.
Yeah, just the easy crossover.
Nightshade's gear is so cool, and if we did a matching thing like that, that'd be awesome. Like,
And again, I said one size fits all, so like, you know, you're more than welcome to it as well. Like,
no, that's so true. Who else? There's quite a lot.
I feel like you have to have one that's not exact. It's very similar to yours.
Yeah, like, wait. I'm trying to think who else has cool gear.
Would you go Gene Money? Would you go like the nipple tape and stuff?
To be fair, I
don't think that would be very family friendly if I did it.
I thought about that before. Yeah, there was a stage where I thought about doing something similar because of the whole me being non-binary thing and like not really wanting to show my chest because of that. So and like it's just a fun silly gear, so that would be cool. RJ Singh's white gear from when he won the title.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was awesome. There's so many cool gears.
Scotty Rock
yeah.
Cool grunger gear. I think he had a jacket recently, and I was like, oh my god, I want to steal it.
Oh yeah, I will take Kira Chimera's. I don't think I would pull it off as good as her, but I feel like the bat I could protect myself.
Oh hell yeah, the bat as well. Yeah, it's all good. That's
I feel like I sometimes need that extra thing. So
I love that.
Rhea as well.
Rhea's always circled the most.
Yeah, the Loki gear with the horns and the cape as well.
Yeah, and then it would be the Uprising, wouldn't it? Because it'd be Rhea and Skye.
Yeah, I might as well take Skye's for the thing.
Oh, there you go.
Actually be the Skye that was meant to come out first.
Uprising gear swap. That'd be great.
Oh my god, I would love that.
That would be funny. Imagine the Uprising as Fight and Flight. That would be even funnier.
That would be ridiculous. I feel like, yeah, definitely. I feel like Rhea and Skye could really pull that off.
Dream match, Freaky Friday match with the Uprising.
Oh. There are not
any combination of them. I think they do us justice very well.
I mean, gear-wise, because we're not living in a one-size-fits-all world, I understand why Freaky Friday matches haven't been done, but I feel like there's something there as well. Like that's got to be something, right?
Maybe we pitch for Freaky Friday at Pro Wrestling East.
Yes. Oh, they love it. They love a crazy, like, quirky match there.
They do.
Yes. I've ironically wanted to pitch a Freaky Friday match for so long to like so many people. So I actually might. I think
maybe
I think
next year we'll pitch them. Have it on a Friday the 13th.
Oh, you should do it. We've created so many weird match stipulations on this podcast. It's mad. Like, there's some that I hope come to fruition at some point. But
I would love.
I'll let you know if they do. I'm fully taking credit. I will not. I will out the person. I'll be like, no, that was my idea. What are you on about?
Yeah. I'm claiming that.
Yeah, exactly. The next one I always say is I always sort of forgot we were doing a feature for a second there, and then it was just talking about gear, which I love.
We talked about Crocs for a while.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. You have to advocate for your Crocs.
No, exactly. It's important. It's important to back what you believe.
Exactly.
The next one I always say is kind of like redundant asking a wrestling locker room, but who's the most competitive? And if you can't think of someone, I'm going to have to ask it out of you two, who you think is the most competitive.
Me.
Yeah, that was easy.
Easy.
But
I was going to say out of the locker room, probably me. I'm really competitive.
You're quite competitive.
I am. Like, I hold it down, though.
Just in the ring, or like with everything?
Oh, everything. Yeah. I grew up a little sister, so I am immediately competitive. I think my older sister, who's 5 years older than me, wound me up a lot as a child. So she created this monster in which I want to prove that I can beat the bigger sister wherever I am at any time. I'm not too bad when it comes to wrestling because I know the act of the performance and it's kind of getting together. But if there was any kind of bet or any kind of race or anything backstage, I would be like, I'm gonna win. Like, So I think, probably myself. I feel like Charlie Morgan and
I feel like that would make sense.
I don't know why. I feel like her and Jetta.
They strike me as competitive.
No, I know who. Not even a wrestler. One of the audience members, Russell, aka that guy. There was a musical chairs match that Lana Austin did, and there was a whole thing where they did it, and Lauren, the referee, was about to sit on a chair, and this audience member who was a part of it, Russell, took the chair, literally moved the chair and sat in it, and it was like a whole big thing, and that one audience member,
amazing, Russell, if you're watching, shout out, what a legend.
I'm definitely gonna say myself. We went to Clash at the Castle, and TK and Mambo did the rock paper scissors tournament.
Yes,
And I got through to the finals, and I was invested in that. It was random as well. This wasn't a work. They gave us the tickets for the people that would be drawn into it, and mine was drawn, and they were like, we didn't plan this, it is Beau Bells, but we didn't make this happen. I got so into it. I also,
you were working the crowd so much.
Thanks, always a performer, but I got so into it. I beat a child. I was just like, I'm gonna show no mercy. The child's going down.
I mean, you can't that's the thing is show no mercy, but you can't not beat a child at rock paper scissors because you don't know what they're gonna throw. Do you know what I mean? You can't let someone win rock paper scissors.
I say that, but I got real in my head about it, and I was like, well, they did scissors last time, so if they did scissors last time, they're gonna think I'm gonna do rock this time, so they're gonna do paper, and I'm gonna do scissors. I was literally by the end of it, I was overthinking it like mad, and some of it did work because I think it is the psychology of it. Of I said, if they've done scissors and we've lost or they've lost on the scissors, they think I'm going to do this next time, so I'm going to do the opposite of what they think. It's I literally got so into it. It was really, really fun. But yeah, I lost in the finals, which I'm still bitter about.
That's, to be fair, even if you're not competitive, that hurts the most. Getting I'd rather go out early than get to the final and lose.
Isn't it? No. Yeah, that is exactly what I felt. And it was, what was his name? It was Blaine.
Blaine. Oh, Blaine.
Next time.
Blaine is not the name of someone you want to lose to as well. That's.
I got really, really into that. So yeah, I think probably me. I think I'm really competitive. I just by nature.
No, I would back it. I mean, I don't know for sure, but based on just that one story, I think I would back that. Yeah.
I was like,
did you make the kid cry? And then had to go.
I did. I did
You did a heel turn and the face turn back again afterwards.
No, it was the classic so I beat the kid and it was oh okay, do the handshake, and I did the no, and he started to be look really upset, and his dad came over and kissed him on the head and was like, it's okay son, and then I went away and proper played it up and then I went back and found him and I was like, I'm really sorry, it's not really me. It's okay, I'm really sorry, you're okay, because I felt really bad. And I think at the time as well, I think I was working in a charity where I worked with young people. So I was there's just the maternal nice part of me that was no, I need to go make sure that kid's okay. But
TK and Mambo, if you're watching, Beau can never be allowed in the rock paper scissors tournament again.
I think there's a reason for her to be in it.
I think I should.
I should, yeah.
Work a shoot rock paper scissors tournament. I think that
it was very
a testament to your talent.
Yeah. Someone did say to me at the end, I can't remember who it was. They were like, "Good crowd work." And I was like,
it's like the less violent BritWres version of I can't remember now. It's gone from my mind. What was the WWE one where they did the boxing, but it was shoot?
Oh,
Brawl for All. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the kid.
That I struggle to believe that was an event in history that they thought was a good idea.
It's a terrible idea. The rock paper scissors one is a far better idea, but the fact that a wrestler got to the final is beautiful.
Wild. No one expected it. It wasn't. It was completely real as well. It wasn't like you say, you can't really predict rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
But for a moment when I got to the final, I thought I could.
Please tell me there was a moment where you just happened to have your gear as well. You came out in your gear for
I was in like, I think at the time I did have like, because when I'm wrestling, I have like one colour eye each. And I did have at the time, I was like in like full bow, like I was ready to go.
Love it.
So it was very fun. And then I think after it, TK sent me the pictures of like the tournament. He was like, I don't know what you want to do with these, you know, precious memories, hang them up at home. Here you go. So yeah, there's pictures of me at varying states, just like losing my mind.
Amazing. You're going to look back on your career, like it's going to be like titles and everything like that, top of the pile, rock, paper, scissors, clash at the castle.
Getting everyone to boo me. But no, I did go over to the dad and the child after and was like, I'm sorry.
You made up for it, which is important.
I'm a nice guy, really.
There's only a couple more, and it's good because there's a few more questions I want to get onto before we wrap up. But the next one is, who do you think would throw the best party in the locker room? Everyone in the locker room is throwing a party, and they've all invited you, but you can only go to one party. Whose are you going to? Whose is going to be the party to be at?
The problem is I'd go to your party.
No. So okay, I'll make it.
I would throw a really good party.
Throw a good party.
You've got to go as a team. It's like a you've got to go as a tag team.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say you've got to agree on one party to go to.
Oh my god, I can't think of people.
I'm trying to like analyze the whole locker room in my head.
I know.
Like, who would throw a good party?
Oh,
I feel like Gene Money would throw a good party.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Gene Money would throw a great
100%. Yeah, I think that'd be good vibes, good fun.
Hell yeah.
Good times.
This will be Gene will like make his entrance to the party by jumping through the banister of his first floor onto the ground floor.
I don't know how he does that every show.
I don't either. I hate front bumps, so I don't know how he like freely is like, first thing, let's go.
It's the nipple tape. It covers everything, really. You think it only covers the nipples, but it really shields everything. He doesn't feel a thing.
I think Gene Money would throw a good party.
Nice. And then the final one is, again, I'm going to say you can't pick each other, but who would you want to have your back in the zombie apocalypse?
Skye Snitson.
It's a good shout.
Snitson would be a good one. Oh, who else would?
I feel like any of the Uprising would really be quite good at that.
Yeah, I think they'd be like scrappy and defend you until with their honour. But no, I think they'd like mess people up.
But would they turn on you though? Would they be evil and throw you to the zombies while they escape? You know.
Yeah. No, the 8-7 as well.
8-7 probably would have our backs.
For beautiful violence.
Oh hell yeah, the 8-7. Yeah, Roy and Roth and Warren. Like. No one's getting through that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a unit right there. Like definitely. Yeah.
Who else is big and scary?
Oh my god, sorry. We want to wrestle them too. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I thought like my.
Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's another one. We would die 87 ways.
We would. And we'd be okay.
That's our thing. That's our new slogan. We die.
Amazing. No, I love it. That's some great choices, some wonderful choices. We got a few questions going before we end the podcast, and we mentioned Fist Club earlier, and we got to get back to that now because this will go out 2 days, I think, before Fist Club versus Slay Station as part of Wrestival. So yeah, this is going out on Thursday. So yeah, 2 days after that. So I mean, Wrestival's great. Like every year, fantastic. So much like diverse wrestling. Like it's just a whole lot of fun. But yeah, talk to me about Fist Club because I've not been to a show yet, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Fist Club is so much fun. Like it's a fun show. It's a diverse show, like you say. It brings together the best of like wrestling, cabaret, drag, like all the fun stuff. It's a very like fun space to be like creative, do fun things. You know, it's a very kind of obviously a welcoming space. You know, it's very kind of safe space for LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, it's queer and women led. Like.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so much fun. I've had people come along that have been to very few wrestling shows or have little to no interest in wrestling, and they've come back to Fist Club. So it is accessible, it's fun, it's joyful, it's queer, it's all fun things, right?
Yeah, it's not really like anything else in wrestling, really. You don't really ever know what you're gonna get. I'm trying to think of everything I've done in it, because everything I've done has been actually a bit bonkers.
Well, you mentioned the sock earlier. Is that the most bonkers, or does it get weirder than that?
So there was one of the shows was called Night of 1,000 Mick Foleys, and the show ended in a Mick Foley battle royal where everyone was Mick Foley. So I asked if I could be Mr. Socko. So I just dressed up as a giant sock. And another wrestler, Bruno Brown, was dressed as The Rock, and we were the literal Rock and Sock connection. And it was so much fun, and everyone was traumatized because it was very weird seeing me dressed as a sock. It was a bit scary, actually, but it might be my proudest moment in wrestling in a weird way, because just everyone found it really funny.
It was really funny.
It was really silly.
It was very silly.
I love that. That's amazing. That's hilarious.
That's one of the things I've done.
We can find a picture of
I will send you a picture.
Yes, please.
I will send you a picture of the sock. Yeah, but there's been other things, like I've had a wrestling match with Peppa Pig. I wrestled as Velma on the very first show. It's all kind of bonkers stuff. Like there's drag acts. Like one of them did a Mick Foley routine and literally did a thumbtack bump, but they're a drag king. Like
yeah, they're not a wrestler.
What?
They that for fun.
I want to say.
Oh my god, the nerves of that! Jeez.
I know, right? I was like, damn, I've been wrestling for years, and you know.
I was gonna say that makes some wrestlers look bad. Be like.
No, so true. Like honestly, I need to see Luce Willis actually wrestle, because I think
they want to.
They'd be really cool. Like on the very first show, like Luce Willis is one of the hosts of like all of the Fist Club shows, pretty much. And I just remember watching the very first show, and they did a lip sync to the Steinermass promo, and ever since
it was iconic. It was so good.
Just been my favorite person.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
Yeah,
it was so good. There's got to be a video of it somewhere.
Yeah,
but not from the first show, but I think there is a video of it somewhere.
I'll message Heather, see if she's got it.
Yeah.
I
think it's a beautiful space for crossover of different kinds of performance as well, because obviously wrestling is a performance, and the way it's kind of played with at this club is quite light, and you know, like people can be creative in kind of a multitude of ways, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Again, very lucky to have a space to kind of, you know, play in that way, I think. What have I done? I've wrestled as Beau, and I've wrestled as Linda as well, who is so Brenda, who is the main heel at Fist Club.
Yes, I'm aware of Brenda. Yeah.
We hate Brenda.
I hate Brenda.
She's basically so like right to censor, but updated. But she's an office manager, basically.
Right.
And she is about professionalism, and she is about no fun and no fisting. And then I've got to play her simpering assistant called Linda a couple of times, which I kind of embody like a slimy politician, and it's really fun playing something that's so anti-Beau and so opposite to what I normally am. So it's really nice to have like a fun space to like do different stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I think like you said with Wrestival coming up, I am wrestling on Fist Club versus Slay Station. And as a massive video game fan, when this came up, I was like, oh my God, I have to do it, please. I've literally got a Lara Croft tattoo because I love Tomb Raider so much. But yeah, it's that's going to be another ridiculous space for fun as well. I'm very excited to play a character. I don't want to give it away.
No, we won't give it away. But that's the thing, like, Wrestival is so good, right? It's like, it's something for everyone. Like, there's so many different types of wrestling. Like, obviously you've got, like, Galzilla's before Fist Club, right? Isn't it, on a Saturday?
Got a good character.
I was going to say, I've got another character for that. Yeah. I am a character performer. I love being different characters. I love getting, like, the movement of a character. I love, like, embodying a character and bringing it to life. That's one thing, you know, how I found wrestling and fell in love with wrestling. Like, that gave me the opportunity to do that. So having something like Wrestival where I get to play two characters completely different to Beau in one night is so cool. Like, to be able to have that space and that opportunity to do it. Yeah.
And then, like, over the Thursday, Friday, you've got, like, everything patterned, and you've got, like, head drop and, like, Jerry Bakewell as well. Like, so much different stuff. Like, no matter what you like, there's something there, right? Like,
they've got. There's Wrestling with History as well.
That looks hilarious. That looks incredible.
It was so fun to watch Wrestling with History. It was so cool to watch.
What else?
Fist Club versus the Pleasant, which is the other Fist Club show. Yes. I'm involved with that one a little bit. They are doing wrestling matches, but that are in the Fist Club universe, but they are being directed by artists at the Pleasant. So that's going to be another really bonkers one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut my mouth because I will say something I'm not supposed to.
No, we'll keep the secrets. But don't know what to expect is the perfect way to explain Wrestival just as a whole, though, isn't it? Like
100%. I've been telling people at work to come along, and they're like, "Oh, what's it about? Like, what are you doing? How are you performing?" I'm like, "Well, one of them's a queer-led, a performance group who is working with, a drag performance group around video games, and the other one is post-apocalyptic women's wrestling." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like,
"There's a show that's British rounds matches."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's absolutely
history retelling. Like that's just this festival as well. Like last time I was involved with a show called Sasquatch, which was literally
that's on as well.
Oh yes, Sasquatch is on this time as well, which is a show about cryptozoology.
Oh, amazing.
All of the wrestlers are cryptids.
Different cryptids.
I did it on the last show, Cryptid Chaos, and I was the giant squid. The most complex character I've played because it's the only cryptid that's actually been proven to be real. So,
yeah.
I nearly choked on mist. Don't be careful if you do a mist spot. That was nearly my undoing.
You don't want to be too real.
I think it's there's literally something for everyone, and I think it goes to show like how diverse and different wrestling can be as well. You got 7 shows over 3 days, and they're all like completely different from each other.
Yeah.
And all something like you say, like we said about Fist Club, one of my friends who had been to, I think, watch me wrestle once, but like, they came to Fist Club and they were like, "Oh my God, this is my thing." And I think it's beautiful that in the world of wrestling, there can be something for everyone, whatever kind of range of wrestling it is. It's like, "Oh, I found my thing," which, I think as wrestlers, we want to share with people and make sure that people can find their thing because, wrestling can be anything and it should be anything and people enjoy that. And I love that.
Shows like Wrestival allow us to kind of do that, which is really cool.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather. Love you.
Yeah, the mastermind behind it.
No, Heather's great. Like, so creative as well. Like, some of the stuff she puts on is just wonderful. Really good.
Starzilla's going to be a lot of fun as well. I think with her and Rhea kind of putting together.
Yeah.
I've had a look at the card today, so it's going to be it's going to be wild and it's going to be so fun, and I'm so excited to be part of it.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah. Can't wait for it. If you're watching this, anyone watching who hasn't got a ticket yet, get to one of the shows, 2 of the shows, whatever you can.
Oh my God, yes. Go to thepleasant.co.uk, get a ticket.
Yes.
Or more specifically, just come and see me on Saturday. Yeah.
Shameless plug.
No, go see everyone. Like, if you can get down to any of the shows, like Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, I would definitely recommend it. Like, it's just, I think there's like over 50 wrestlers performing across the weekend. There's an incredible level of talent across all the performers, like wrestlers, drag, everything that's bringing in together. Like, it's so nice to have like everyone together in one space,
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing how they're able to coordinate that.
Yeah.
Like 2 times a year.
I know.
Like, it's incredible, and it's really cool that the Pleasants have kind of taken it on and been like, let's do it more often.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, because I wrestled on the first one.
So
Fist Club. Did we wrestle on the same show? We were in different tags.
We were in different tag teams.
We weren't a tag team. We were in different tags.
Oh my God. And now you're together.
I know. I tagged with Rita Slayworth and we were gun rack.
Yeah.
She's got guns and I've got a rack. That was the gimmick.
Yeah.
And you were...
I tagged with a wrestler called Gambit, who is like so iconic and to be kind of everywhere more. And we were Team Slay, and it was really fun.
It was really fun. I had a really, really, lots of fun during that match.
Yeah, no, that was actually that was like such a good show.
Yeah, it was
so
really
much fun.
Love it.
I can't believe we were in different
tags on the same show.
Who would have thought? Here you are, all this time later. Amazing. Well, we're nearly out of time here, but I've got a final feature here, which I couldn't leave without letting you guys do because it's sort of a wrestling tag team version of Mr. and Mrs. So we're gonna almost like dishing the dirt. We're gonna sort of like have you out each other as like certain maybe quirks or like.
We do this constantly anyway.
Oh, do you?
We'll be okay.
Or you just play with each other like yeah, that's me.
Or no, we just call each other out for.
Oh, I see.
Doing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, you're being like this. No, you're being like that, and it's like, that's part of friendship.
We'll also send each other memes and be like, that's you.
Yeah. Send each other TikToks and be like, why is this me? Why is this you?
Yeah.
I have been attacked. What is
Gotcha.
happening?
Gotcha.
That is our life, isn't it? So.
Amazing. Well, this will be a lot like that. We've got some wrestling questions, some non-wrestling questions. A nice, healthy mix, I think.
Okay.
So the first one is, again, sort of like start in the locker room. Who takes the longest to get ready?
Yeah.
Me, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it that does it? What's the time-consuming part?
Makeup.
Yeah.
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 Doing my makeup and trying to get it to stay. Because I wear quite vivid makeup as well. And I wear a lot of makeup because for me, it's putting on your face. You know what I mean? It's This is the presentation. And I didn't start with that, but it's become part of the ritual. And I spoke to Tom about it, actually, Cara Noir, this trainer play fight.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, once I've seen him, like, put that paint on and he is Cara compared to being Tom. So I feel like it's part of my ritual now. So the makeup, and to make it stay on your face whilst you're sweating and wrestling is
so impressive.
a process.
Like she's like basically a full-on makeup artist at this point. I try to copy the eyes like when we do tag stuff.
It's taken years.
I don't know how to, I personally am still waiting for the Cara Noir makeup seminar.
Oh, I tell you what. Yeah, Tom should put that on.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Why has Tom not put that on yet? That's amazing. I mean, while we're at it, like, big up, Tom. I know he's out injured at the minute. Sending all our love to him, but, like, what a guy, right? Like, the amount of love and care and support he's shown the whole BritWres community is just unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I've been training for a while, and I don't think I would be the wrestler I am now without him.
No.
Like, he's an incredible trainer. He's an incredible guy. So, yes, sending all our love to him whilst he gets better.
We love you, Tom.
Yeah.
Big up, Tom. Can't wait.
Cara Noir makeup seminar needs to happen.
Yes, get it done. Get it done. So needed.
I definitely take the longest, and if I do my hair as well, then it takes even longer. It's a whole thing. So yeah.
Sure. The next one is I don't know if you guys host dinner parties or anything regularly, but it's who's the best chef?
Probably you.
Yeah.
I'd say probably you.
I feel like I cook more.
I feel like you do cook more.
Do you have a signature dish? Do you have something you're best at?
Oh god. I cook a really good steak. Like steak with chips and like sauteed broccoli with like garlic and butter and stuff. Like a very traditional, hearty, steaky meal.
Nice.
I love a steak. I sorry vegans. But I have to because I've my diet because I've got Crohn's disease, so
right.
I have to eat quite a low fiber diet. So steak and chips is like my go-to. But yeah, I love a good steak. But,
are you chefy enough to know like if someone asks for like a steak a certain way, like how long you need to cook it for?
Yeah,
that's good.
That. Yeah, I think I've got like good cookbooks from the Hawksmoor, which is like fancy steak restaurant.
Yeah, Hawksmoor is fancy as fuck.
Yeah, I am a bougie bitch sometimes, even though I feel like I grew up so poor. Now I've got money, I'm like, I'm going to spend it on steak.
You've earned it, right? Like it's your prerogative.
Yeah, I think definitely like a classic steak and chips. I know it doesn't sound complicated, but you can easily mess up a steak.
Oh, an overdone steak is the worst thing.
No, that is impressive.
I've got very good, but yeah, I don't know, is this unwavering thing of like I think I can cook anything, and now I will follow a recipe and I can just do it.
Nice.
I think I can cook nothing, and then occasionally I surprise myself.
That's me. Yeah, I'm like that. I'm that person. I'm like I can't really cook, and then I'll try and cook. I'll be like, okay, maybe I can cook.
I didn't poison myself. It was impressive.
Yeah, exactly. Like if as long as you're not ill afterwards, you're like win. That is it.
Yeah, no. I'm an alright baker, to be fair. I would come to a dinner party and I'd bring dessert.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
there we go. Yeah.
that's
See, I don't bake, so there we go.
Yeah.
Love it. The next one is obviously in wrestling, you're driving up and down the country, you need to get to different shows. But who's the best driver?
So, neither of us drive.
Oh, no!
This is funny. So my partner actually drives me to all my wrestling shows because I am the ultimate passenger princess. So if it's within, I would say, an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours, he will drive us, and he will drive Skye, and he will drive other wrestlers.
Have either of you learned to drive? Like, do you have your license, or like, is it?
I can drive legally, but I wouldn't say I can drive morally. I am the most anxious driver on the planet.
I'm sensing a lot of connection here between us. Like, this is exactly me as well. Like,
oh my god, no way.
I have my license, but there is no way I'm getting behind the wheel of a car. Like,
no, I don't think it's gonna. There's part of me that is like, should I at some point try and save up for a car? Also, we live in London.
yeah, who needs a car in London? Like,
public transport's great, and everything is too much money.
Yeah.
So that's the reason those are the main reasons I don't drive. But also because I am the most anxious person behind the wheel, and I would need to get over that, and that's terrifying. So, legally I can drive, but it's very much a last resort.
See, this is definitely a fight and flight thing, because I don't drive because I think I'd be too angry. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I think my road rage.
You get road rage for
Yeah, my partner's he's a very good driver, but sometimes if someone like cuts him off or something, I will like beep the horn and be like, this guy, like, so yeah, I just, again, probably legally I could, but morally I shouldn't.
no, sure.
Yeah, I think, again, growing up in London, I didn't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to, right?
You know, there was a bus stop outside my house, I could get to the tube station, like, you know, and it cost money, and growing up, I didn't have much money, so it was like, I would rather keep my £20 for a lesson and go and do something fun with it, like go to a metal club, probably.
That is
hell yeah, metal club, I'm with you there. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a fuck face.
Yeah, so neither of us.
Yeah.
I'm too angry, you're too anxious. So yeah.
There you go. And again, like you say, the perfect metaphor for the tag team, I think.
Exactly.
We drive the friendship instead.
The friendship. Yeah, that's our show the t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out the merch. Love it.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I love it. I love the colour. I love the design on it.
It's been fun.
We did realise very quickly why wrestlers have less colours on their t-shirts though, and there aren't many colourful ones because it's really expensive.
To put all the colour on is,
It is cool.
No,
it would be cool. It just won't be this colourful.
It was amazing. I think it was Alec Hugel.
Oh, Alec's so good.
His name. Sorry, Alec, but yeah, we kind of
So good.
gave a load of ideas at him, and he was like, "This," and we were like, "Oh my god, this is perfect."
No, Alec's so good. He's so creative. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. And like, again, I think it works for you guys because again, I know you've only had like a few matches together, but it makes you seem bigger than you are because people look at it and they're like, shit, they can afford colour on their shirt. Like, they're doing something right.
Yeah.
It definitely was that.
We've got that.
We were playing 4D chess and not knowing what we were doing.
We've got that multicolour money. No, not all. It was just pure stupidity on our part, not understanding how these things work. But yeah, no, again, you know, just fake it till you make it.
Yeah. So, love it. There you go. The next one is, well, we talked about music taste earlier, but who out of you two has the better music taste?
Oh no. I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to say myself because I think I've got good music taste, but you should say yourself as well.
No,
I feel like you've got good music taste.
I like my music taste.
I like yours as well.
It's chaos, but that's why I like
but
it.
But I think our music tastes are quite similar.
We overlap. Like,
yeah, we overlap a lot.
What's the overlap? What's the like genre of overlap?
Noisy, weird music, I would say, or screamy.
Noisy, screamy, loud thingies, and girly pop.
Yeah. Nice.
No in between. Like,
I think that's the perfect mix, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you want a bit of Slipknot, and other times you want a bit of Shania Twain. So, like,
this is exactly us. Yeah, that is exactly
our
vibe.
100%. Like, yeah. No, we've both got. I think I love your music taste as well. Obviously, I'm going to say my own. So I love my own.
I'm going to say my own too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put money on that, but also I like my own.
I would. I've got great taste in music.
I love your song.
I was going to say, this isn't very like Mr. and Mrs. at all. It's all far too wholesome. There's no digging at each other at all. It's all very like...
We don't.
you never know. You might find the question that all.
Well, I was going to say now we're more moving in the ring. Now this is now moving more in the ring. So we'll see. Who has the better entrance music when you're solo performing?
I think you.
See, I think I like yours better as a song, but I like mine as entrance music.
Yeah.
Like.
It's weird that distinction, isn't it? You say that. It's weird that distinction.
Yours is like so you.
I'm really happy with it.
I know it's not that mine isn't. Like I love mine as well, but yours is just like when you hear it, it's like Skye Shore. Like it really, really like it captured you like completely.
I feel like I feel like when I found that, I was like that. This is the one.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. You have a few that you use that are quite cool. Like I feel like you.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, you coming out to Bowie 3 might rank higher.
I do love that. Yeah.
That is so you.
I use because when I first started wrestling, and obviously like when people don't ask for like if they're like okay with copyrighted music, then I've used Bowie 3 by Wiley.
Yeah.
Because obviously namesake, and it's very kind of like the core of Beau. It's that very, I think grime and stuff like that is very punk in itself anyway. So I think it really captured it, although Wiley's a bit problematic. The song itself, I think it suits the attitude of Beau when I'm out. But then the music that I use, East, that they got for me, I love as well, because it's very punk and it's anti-capitalist. So I'm like,
no, it's so sick. Like,
I think it works.
Can we just ruin the whole game again and be like the mashup that's the
oh my god, the
current
mashup
of our music?
Oh no, yes.
The current mashup of my weird video game music with your East theme.
Yeah.
I
that mashup is so
I think
good.
they called the Organ Grinders Monkey or something, but they made a remix of like our songs like put together. And it sounds so good.
It's so good, yeah.
Love that.
Do it just like as normal music.
It's
so good. Because originally it started off as a kind of joke where like the original thing was it was like those old WWE things where they just chop between them and it doesn't make any sense. That was the original entrance theme, was just like a bit of that and then just randomly like just a loud
dropped
music and then just go and it goes back to a punk thing, but it made no sense. And then
the remix is really good.
And the remix is so
it works
good.
really well, which you didn't think if you listened to those two songs separately, you wouldn't be like they made sense together, but they do.
Nice.
So I love that mashup.
Yeah,
love that. Love it.
Put together, which is again not what you're.
It's not, but it's fine. It's again, just loving the wholesomeness of it. Just loving the wholesomeness of it. The next one is who has the best finisher? Yeah.
I've never hit mine, so.
You've never hit your finisher?
No, it's yet to be discovered.
Oh, I didn't know this.
We did the super kick.
It's close enough. Yeah, I've not actually done it. That's the only time I've even vaguely hit it.
I didn't know you'd not hit your finisher before.
It's still the move that you do.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to be cryptic, but it's nothing to be cryptic about. I just roll people up a lot. Like, that's the truth. Like, so yeah, objectively, I think yours is cool.
Yeah, I use the curb stomp, like Seth Rollins one. It's the violence.
The Cable Street.
Yeah, I call it. Yeah, I think I want to call it the Battle of Cable Street.
Nice.
It's like the reference to like East London history. And it just sounds like that kind of, when you hit a really good curb stomp, it does feel like a battle. I love it. I think it's also, I can do it on anyone at any time.
Yeah.
Which is great as well.
That's a good finisher, right? When it doesn't matter who you're facing.
Exactly. It's vicious, it's aggressive, it's everything I think that Beau is. And I think I was apprehensive about using it at first because it was like, it's used by a big WWE star. But I love Seth Rollins. He's like, because I watched wrestling as a kid and then I kind of fell out of favour with it for a bit just through growing up, like when I was kind of in my earlier 20s. I always went for a WrestleMania, watched kind of stuff watched a Royal Rumble, but I didn't watch it kind of religiously.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it again in like 2014. So The Shield was like a massive part of me getting back into wrestling. So it's my little ode to Seth Rollins as well, because he was a big influence in me wanting to train. And I think that again, coming back to the wholesome violence of it, I love the thought of being a massive, like, yay, that's so fun, and then just hitting back.
Yeah.
So, like, I love that kind of, like, balance of it as well. So,
yeah,
I love that.
No, I love it.
As well, but you don't
it's
hit it
not
enough.
happened. There might have been a couple of times where I was meant to have been here and things have happened.
Why are you being so cryptic?
I don't mean to be. I
You're
don't
like,
know.
it might have happened, but things have happened. Like,
That makes it sound really like, ooh.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm being cryptic about it. It's just, I'm just not. I might even change it before it even.
I didn't know you hadn't hit your finisher. Because you've won matches. I swear I've seen you win matches.
If you watch the matches I've won, they are mostly by roll up or with this one. So.
That's true. I can't remember because we spoke to Riley the NBF on the podcast, and I was speaking to them about your match at Purpose. You won that match, right?
That was so much fun.
Who won that match? You won that match, right? I'm not misremembering.
I rolled up right.
Oh, you rolled. Okay, so I don't remember the finish, but I was like, I swear you won that match.
They went to kick me, and I'd already seen that happen, and I rolled.
Because that was the thing in my head when you said you hadn't finished, when you hadn't hit your finisher. I was like, I swear you won that match.
I've finished matches. I've just not by a move, by pure sneakiness.
But that's nice, though, isn't it? Like when you finally hit, it's gonna be.
No, that's so not true. That's so rude. I try, okay.
There we go. We found the split. Here we go.
You leave me to get beaten up.
I don't. I'll come in and save you.
Right, where are we going to be next week?
Ooh, there is beef.
Yeah, I was going to say we found
elsewhere.
we found the beef now. I found it. I cracked you.
But we might have lost at the last show and didn't get to the tag tournament. I don't think we too.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I am the most competitive person in these locker rooms, so not winning the Rumble twice.
Yeah.
I'm doing it alone next week because that's the same day as Galzilla and PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm on my own and I'm a bit scared.
You'll be fine.
No, you'll do great. You'll be fine. Yeah.
okay, sure.
The next one sort of goes back to what we were talking about again in the Dishing the Dirt, because we're not talking about the rest of the locker room now. We're talking about you guys. Who would look best in the other one's gear?
I think you would pull off mine amazingly.
I think you pull off mine amazingly. I think you look really good in a singlet.
I've thought about it, but
especially with the shiny rhinestones.
I need your rhinestoning skills because I've tried and my rhinestoning is not a lot.
Oh god, it takes
your rhinestone
so long.
One is so good.
It takes so
long. I love
long.
it, but no, I feel like I don't know. I feel like you and my gear gives very Linda, but like. but more wholesome.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
No, I think you look better in mine.
What about the suspenders, Beau?
Say that again.
What about the suspenders?
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. I think it would be a vibe if you did it.
Maybe we should do a swap.
I think we should.
That'd be good.
Funny if we did a gear swap one day.
I think Fist Club would book that.
That could be your Freaky Friday, where you accidentally maybe bump heads, and all of a sudden you're each other in the same team still though.
I would love to do that so bad.
Me too.
It's funny actually. I've been trying to pitch to do that with a couple of other wrestlers who were thinking scary because I thought it would be funny. But actually, this would make the most sense. This would be so funny.
I love that.
I think that could work. I think that'd be good.
I would, yeah. That would be fun.
It would, yeah. No, I think you'd look better in mine. I don't know if a shirt is the right shape for both of us.
Yeah, or shirt.
Yeah, but
Linda.
But Linda's a very specific type of character.
No, that's
The shirt has certain weapons though, doesn't it? Like if it pops over the button, hits someone in the head, and that's how you win the match.
There you go.
That's my finisher.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my finisher.
You've developed it now.
Imagine if that's... So that one day I will end with a button or something.
Oh, I love that.
I have a great idea for something like that, but I'm going to tell you that after.
Oh, intriguing. Love it. The next one is... we're nearly at the end. The next one is... actually, we are at the end, because this is the last one. It's if you two faced off in a match, who would win?
Oh, See, we faced off before and neither of us won.
Neither of us won, yeah.
That was the day before our tag match. We
Yeah.
had the triple threat match at UKCW.
And we wrestled
we
each
both
other.
lost.
We both lost, yeah.
I
think
don't
I would
know.
win. I think Beau's more vicious. I think I would.
I don't know. Don't underestimate.
I'm not underestimating you.
I think she's underestimating you. I think it's.
I feel like you might get a bit cocky. Like
Me? Cocky? Never.
yeah.
This is where the finishers finally hit.
Yeah, true. Very sneaky.
Like,
but yeah, you're saying, so you're saying yourself, I'm saying me, obviously.
I've got to back myself.
Yeah.
You've taught me well.
Okay.
That's the thing. You taught
too much.
Yeah, you've taught them too well. You taught them, and now it's going to come back to bite you on the butt.
Someone has to book the match. I prefer to do a tag match. I prefer to be on the same side.
100%. But I would win.
No.
I would win.
Of course. Well, that's lovely. I mean, like the only other thing I wanted to ask you guys about before we finish the pod is I think you guys are both incredible. Like, not backers is not the right word. Incredible, like role models for the LGBTQ community in British wrestling, and I love that. And we've spoken to loads of members of that community here on the podcast. And it's really like heartwarming to see people seeing that it's now growing, that representation is now growing. But I want to get it from your point of view, like, because again, whilst it's growing, I think there's a growing want for it to be like, not necessarily not growing. I'm trying to word this the right way, but like, as in like, it shouldn't matter sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, the representation's there, but it shouldn't matter that it's there. It's just these people who are great wrestlers and happen to be part of that community.
Yeah.
Is that how you guys think it's going? Do you think, can you see that change?
It depends where you look.
Yeah, I think there is more representation, and I think, like you said, that's brilliant. We're very honoured to be part of that representation as well, like, and put that out there. I think the thing of it shouldn't matter, I don't agree with that. I think that representation is always important for people. In an ideal world, in a perfect civilization, yes, it shouldn't matter.
Yes, it's more.
But I think in the society that we live in now, it is really important to carve those spaces for people who identify in every different way. I think that's how I would approach it. I think, we do luckily have more queer spaces where people can come together and the LGBTQ plus community can feel comfortable. And I think especially in such a kind of heteronormative, very male-led environment like wrestling, I think it's good to have those spaces for people to be comfortable in.
Sure.
Every space should be anyone should be comfortable in any space. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, and like for me, as, I identify as a woman and go into spaces where there are other women and seeing other women wrestle, and seeing other women only spaces makes me feel more comfortable and me be safer in that space or want to go into that space. And as a queer woman, I think that's even, it's really important to me to create those spaces and to make people feel like they're comfortable in that space. I think, like I said, in a perfect world, it shouldn't matter. But unfortunately, in this world right now, it does. And I think that, representation is really, really important. So that's my side. But
yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, there's, I believe I believe there needs to be room for both. I believe that, like, kind of the more mainstream cards need to kind of get, like, we've come a long way, but like I think in terms of a lot of like if you look at certain cards, like you can see that there is still a long way to go in terms of diversity, especially in terms of like gender stuff as well, like still even now, which is kind of wild. If you just look at cards, like there's still a long way to go there, but then also I feel like when it's something like someone's identity, and if we look at kind of the history of the world and also wrestling as well in general and how certain voices have been kind of kept out there, I think there's nothing wrong with us having those spaces as well. I think both coexist kind of beside them at the same time, like in all honesty. it's weird being in wrestling. Like for me, like I look at some shows and I'm just like, there's a lot of places where it's like, in theory, I'd have to compromise part of my identity to ever hold a singles title. That's like something that I think about a lot. Not that I feel like I'm even on a caliber yet to hold a title like that, but like, yeah, just like, that is, like, in terms of gender anyway, that's how gendered it like, I'm lucky as well that I have certain privilege that I present kind of very masculinely, which means that I can fit onto a lot more of the male side of cards, means that there's suspiciously always more spaces.
It's weird that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've been lucky in certain instances, but like there's that's just my experience, and I feel like in some ways we have a lot of privilege over some like if you look at things like Everything Patterned, a lot of those wrestlers deserve so much more, and like things like that.
I think that's a really important space to have as well, because you look how at the diversity in quotation marks of a lot of cards, and you haven't got global majority wrestlers up there. Same with women, same with marginalized genders as well. So yeah, I think like you said, I think this is just our experience and our thoughts on it, but I think those two spaces do need to coexist. And it's okay to have both spaces. I'm not saying no more for the men's. But yeah, I think it's nice. I started training at a women's school, and when I started training at Eve Academy in 2018, I was incredibly lucky to have a space that felt so welcoming and comfortable to me. I did actually find out about wrestling schools previous to that, but I was too nervous to go and I was too scared to go because I was intimidated, because I didn't know what it was going to be like. And, being in a space where I was, not just in with people of my gender or the way I kind of, way I identify, was really, I felt really comfortable in that space, and it gave me the confidence to then go into other spaces as well. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? And it's about making people, you're thinking about people that are watching wrestling as well, and people that might be, when I wrestle and I see a little girl like cheer for me and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, go wrestle. I want them to have the space to go into it as well, because then it might encourage you or give you the experience and, confidence to go into other spaces as well and take up space. And I think that's a really important part of it too.
For sure.
Another amazing thing we kind of touched on earlier, that we have a lot of kids who support Fly and Fly, but then also like on the flip side we have a lot of queer adults who come up to us and have these conversations. And like also another thing as well that I don't think is talked about enough in wrestling, like it's not something we've even like anyone's even really touched on, is disability representation. Like we get as far as talking about mental health issues, like a little bit, we're getting there with that, but like then like things like you're chronically ill and stuff, and I've been quite emotional seeing a lot of people come up to you and talk about like people in their lives who have had chronic illness. And,
so I didn't think when I first started wrestling, it wasn't something I thought about. I really struggled at the beginning because, like I said, I've got Crohn's disease, and it was really bad when I first started training. So a lot of the time, like, there's chronic fatigue issues that come with that, and pain and stuff. So sometimes I couldn't go to training because I was ill. And there are times that my energy is lower than others. And, when I'm very open about it and I speak about it. And like Skye said, fans have come up to me and shared their kind of journeys and their experience as well, and said, it's really nice to see someone who is also has a kind of chronic illness do the things that you do, because it's quite inspiring. And it's I think there's so many things in wrestling you don't think about that you're going to bring into it, and I think that was a thing as well. And I think thinking about people who are chronically ill or disabled or have health issues in a different way, like you're saying, I'm really happy that mental health is being talked about more, and I think it's really great that it is. But again, it's having a space to know that someone else there is also struggling in the same way to you, and making those connections too.
For sure.
I think that was.
No, I love that. I know.
We could front about this. we do frequently in our own time.
Yeah, we
easily could.
On this, but I think right now in society, it's really important to have those spaces to make people feel represented, and to have spaces where you feel like you can be yourself. And that's unfortunately that's not everywhere in society. So if we can be even a small part of that in wrestling, it makes us very happy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that. And like, we've spoken to so many people as well who are like, again, like, the representation is now there, and also I think in the past, like, it was very like fit into a box kind of representation, do you know what I mean? But now, like, there are so many, like, let's say, like, again, like, LGBTQ plus, like, wrestlers on the scene, but none of them are the same in any way. Like, they're all so different.
100%. And I think that's a really amazing thing that has happened, is that queer representation is the full gamut of what it's like to be queer.
Yeah.
You know,
there's so much going on.
Yeah, there's so much, and I like that people have got more of the confidence to kind of step out. I'm sure there's more that don't, and I'd like to think that we're moving towards giving them a space to be more confident. You know, there's still a long way to go, 100%, in terms of representation across British wrestling. You know, there's a long way to go, but I think, you know, there are sparks flying of that happening, which is cool.
For sure. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the Grapple Theory podcast. It's been a blast having you here. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been really, really fun.
This has been really cool.
And it's our first tag podcast.
Hey, there we go. Hopefully first of many. But no, thank you guys so much. I'm really glad you had a good time. That means a lot. We always end each podcast with two traditions. The first is a relatively new one, and it's where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest.
Oh my god, amazing.
And as part of it, you're not allowed to know who left you the question, so it comes at you completely out of context.
Okay.
So
I'm stressed.
So it's alright, it's nothing too difficult. Because the question that this person asked actually go back to something that I talked to this person about on the podcast we were talking about. So they have asked, what is the weirdest topic of conversation you've ever had on a journey to a wrestling show?
Oh god.
I feel like I know the conversation.
No, there was one coming back from Tidal last year. I was in a car with TK and Mambo and Evan Lee, who used to be in Evan Lee United, which was the football team gimmick.
Yeah.
And that's really annoying me, because I've said, and that immediately popped up in my brain. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. Oh, I remember having were you in the car with me? I think this was on the way to Eastbourne. There was a conversation with Jordan Saeed, was talking about the name of his. I think he was tagging with Ollie Peace, and they had like this whole kind of wild idea for, or was it Simon Miller? I don't remember who it was, but they had this. Okay, there was this whole conversation, and I'm not sure if I can go into it.
Oh no, go on. You got to go into it now. Now that you've said that.
But like, oh no, it's not bad. It's just like it was like a very like Jordan Saeed is the coolest, but like, and he's so funny, and it was just like a whole conversation about I don't remember. The problem is I don't remember what the gimmick was, but he was just pitching this wild tag gimmick, and it was so funny, and I can't remember a single detail about it. But it was.
The other thing about asking wrestlers to remember things is that I feel like I've had a bonk on the head recently, so I have no short-term memory.
I may or may not have a tradition every time we go out for an East match where I tell Beau that I've forgotten the match.
Oh my god, literally, just before we're about to go out, you know, it's
a ritual now.
The moment of like the most stress, because the most stressful part is when you're just about to go out and the person's gone out before you or whatever, and you know there is no way you can get out of it at that point. That's the most stressful part. So to have this one in your ear, I've forgotten the entire match, but I've forgotten the match. I've forgotten the match. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my god, Job!
I do it every time.
Every time.
It's now a bit like I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I just tell you to shut up and you get on with it, and then you don't, and you're fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Next time you've really got to sell it. You've got to be like, so what do we do after this?
Do it during the match.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really going to annoy me. I remember cackling with TK Mambo and Evan Lee. I can't remember what it was about. I feel like we go on such weird tangents anyway, so most conversations are just odd.
They just end up somewhere completely different.
Yeah, I was coming back from Tidal the other day, and we were talking about our top 5 albums. It was really cool because it was everyone's.
That's a really fun conversation.
Yeah, it was nice. It was like, because I was with KM Lane, Mike Bird, Rita Slayworth, and then I've forgotten his name. He does comms for Tidal. Sorry, I've forgotten your name. I can't remember all names. But yeah, it was just doing top 5 albums.
Nice.
And it kept going for about 2 hours.
Nice.
And it was trying to think of them, and then you're like, oh crap, and then it just.
Then you think of another one that you missed out. You're like,
Top 5's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked for more. I was like, can I have a top 10? Because I couldn't fit them in. So I could
You
think
have
of
to
more.
say the order of them as well, or do you just?
No, we just did a 5.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
That would be horrible.
Order would be even tougher. Yeah.
You could name one album. It's like that's the best album ever.
I know. So many different like genres to fit in that. But yeah, that was pretty cool conversation.
Nice.
I don't think it's the weirdest, but I can't.
It's alright. If you think of it, get back to me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Let me know. We'll add it here.
I feel like that sometimes you do so many hours in wrestling cars, it all kind of just blurs.
Yeah.
Like, just like going back and forth.
There's also like different types of weirds. Like there's many different.
There's like unhinged us weird.
Yeah, it's like what is weird? Yeah.
Yeah, I think weird is subjective.
Weird's very subjective. No, love that. Well, no, guys.
Good question.
Sorry, we had a rubbish answer.
It's alright. I'm sure the person will forgive you. You
gave half the treat.
Yeah.
It's almost like you almost like teased it. You like drew us in with it, and then.
I know. We were like, oh, we've got a towel. We've forgotten.
Yeah.
That was very on brand for both of us.
Love it. No, well, Skye, Shaw, Beau Bells, thank you so much for coming on the Grab Through podcast. It's been a pleasure having you here, and we always end each podcast by giving our guests one final bit of promo time. So, if anyone across the country sees you guys on a show at Pro Wrestling East or anywhere else in the country, hopefully you get some bookings like across the country, because that'd be awesome to see you guys team everywhere. That'd be epic. But if anyone sees you guys either as solo wrestlers or as a tag team, why are Fight and Flight gonna steal the show?
You wanna go, or shall I?
You seem like you're raring to go. I don't know.
You can tag team it. You can tag when you're in it after.
Okay, we can do the tag. We can do the. Woo. So you have not seen a friendship like this. This is real. Okay, this isn't a gimmick. This isn't a joke. This is who we are, and then we are gonna be. We're getting there. We're gonna be one of the best tag teams in the country because you don't get a connection like this elsewhere. We are representative of the people that we are fighting in front of. We are Fight and Flight for you and for us. We're here to show people that we can do anything we put our minds to, and that you can too.
Love it.
That's so good. I don't have much to add. Honestly, like she's incredible, and I'm also here, and that's why we're the best. Like,
I love that. She's incredible. I'm also here.
everything. I'm just scared.
Oh.
Watch the Barbie movie. We are the Barbie movie. I don't know what it means. I'm Alan.
Not Alan.
I've been thinking about getting Alan inspired gear.
Oh my god, amazing.
Oh, you should do Alan and Barbie.
Oh my god, I want to dress up as Barbie.
We've got a couple of other ideas.
If you do want to watch us, we're going to be Alan and Barbie soon. So
that will
why would you not
happen
want
at
to watch
some
us?
point. Yeah,
there you go.
We just have fun. Come and have fun with us.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That is one thing that I think we have over a lot of people. We just think wrestling is fun, and we just want to have a good time. And not saying that other people don't, but like we seem to get that reaction out of people, and just
Come have fun with us.
Yeah, come have fun. Be friends.
Yeah.
Come join Team Friendship.
Team Friendship.
Yeah.